Guys back here again. Finally.
Bryan Scott was talking a lot about the scrimmage. I guess kind of give us your
Yeah.
overview, and then also he said the two safeties have, or the safety room is kind of coming along. There's still not a ton of bodies there,
Yeah.
but kind of your update.
Man, I'll say just starting off with the scrimmage, it was probably the best scrimmage so far, defensive that we've had since we've been here. We started the ball on the minus 35 for about 7, 8 drives. And that was the first time that the defense held those guys without touchdowns. And that was a great thing to see. The guys didn't score a touchdown until we got to maybe the 104th play of scrimmage, which is awesome, for us defensively, holding those guys to field goals and, getting fourth down stops. And very pleased with their energy, their execution, their tackling. Wasn't a lot of missed tackles out there today on first day of pass. I mean, that was awesome. And guys flew around, made plays on the ball. Got one turnover. Should have had, at least four. We dropped 3 picks. We got to make those count for sure. Rance Connor was a freshman with the third group who had a pick later on in the scrimmage. Did really really well. But those safeties, man, they are coming along, man. You think about Ken Duncan, who's played in this defense, has done a tremendous job for us being a leader in that back end, knows what to do. He looks like a linebacker as well, but he can cover. He gets us in and out of our defense, does a great job for us. Q Cole just got here. I mean, he just got here in July. And when I say he's jacked up, can run, can hit, quick as a cat, that's what you want. But overall, he's just an unbelievable kid. Great human being, love to be around him, and is making a lot of plays so far in camp. So we're excited about that room. Ben Perry made some plays today, which was exciting to see. We could put Chandler Jones back there. He did great things. And even Braylon Oliver, another true freshman, did some great things at safety today. But overall, I grade our defense out of A- today. Great to see and just excited for what we got moving forward.
Bryan, we kind of staying on the secondary. You mentioned the safeties, and I'm kind of looking at the depth of the corner spot. You feel like, I know everybody talks about Trey Clark and Chandler Jones, you feel like with guys like Greedy and even Connie Walker, and you feel like you have good depth there? And then
Yes.
kind of after that on Trey Clark, does he seem different, more confident than he was a year ago?
With the first part of your question, I do feel like we got great depth at corner. You mentioned, Trey and Chandler, who's played a lot of ball for us. And the one thing about Trey, and I've been telling a lot of guys this, is that, we got him last August essentially, and he ended up being a second-team All-ACC corner. And all he knew was corner. He didn't know anything else what anybody else had in front of him, behind him, beside him. He just learned corner. And now he's put in so much work in the offseason, learning what to do, how to do it, but also what everybody else around him has. And now he understands when he can jump routes, where he can be more aggressive. He's been awesome, man. He's been really, really good. You got a Greedy Vance, who's going to be a really good football player for us. I look at Greedy as a 1A, 1B type player for us. He could start if we needed him to. And then, Trey Franklin, a kid that we just got, he's making play after play after play every day. And he just got here in July, so that's another transfer kid that's doing some great things for us. After that, you got the freshman. You got Kanai Walker, who's coming along every day. He's getting 5% better every day. Long, athletic kid that plays corner. Will hit you as well as can cover you and play really good press technique. And the rest of the guys are ready to roll as well. But I think I have 5 corners right now. They can come in the game and play really well.
Bryan, I know it's just one scrimmage, but what did you see pressure-wise out of the front seven, specifically in pass rush?
When you look at the front guys, man, I think a guy like a Yaya Diaby, Ashton, TP got some pressure today. We got some good sacks. I don't know exactly how many we hadn't finished watching the film, but I was very, very pleased with the sacks. We had a lot of errors. Quarterback had to throw the ball, out of bounds a good bit today. So that's a positive, a really, really good positive day for us. And so I'm excited moving forward to see how much pressure we actually will be able to get. And I think we'll get more pressure than we did last year.
Coach, Scott mentioned that he wished the defense had created more turnovers last year. Why do you think they were important is that going forward?
I think it's really important, and one thing we're doing both offensively and defensively, we're working together and doing turnover circuits, and I think that's helping a lot for our guys, and the confidence for the guys just understanding where to go and to punch the ball and thinking, knowing that, hey, the ball is the key, the ball is the object, so we got to punch the ball out. But the most important thing, you got to make the most of the opportunities when they come your way. We dropped like 7 or 8 picks last year, and that's a lot of turnovers that now you're giving the ball back to our offense and allowing those guys to score. And but it's really key that we get more turnovers. Our motto this year is we got to be +1, +1 better than the opposing defense. And our guys are responding better to that. Had more turnovers yesterday in practice and the day before that. So today we dropped 3 picks, so we got to make the most of that. More turnovers on from today.
Bryan, when you've got a guy like CJ who comes back for his 5th year, does it almost feel like there's another coach on the field for you guys and other guys on the defensive side of the ball? Who are sort of the coaches and the leaders on the field? Absolutely.
You think about the summer when coaches are going on vacation. He was the coach, So CJ is he's a great leader. We call him captain. He's a cap, and he is the other coach. So he's running the walkthroughs. The team function deals that they're having on the field, he is a coach, and it's awesome to have him back, with a guy like Chandler Jones in the back end that knows everything. Even Ken Duncan, he just got here, but he knows everything. So it's always great to have guys like that. Even TP, he came back. So when you got a guy at every level, it makes you as a coach it's easier for us just a little bit to have other guys out there on the football field that know exactly what to do and know exactly what we want as coaches.
Yeah, is that +1 every game you want to be in terms of turnovers? And secondly, when you talk about the turnover circuit, could you give a little bit more explanation of what that actually is?
Well, it's different drills that we do against the offense that we put the offense in different situations to where, may have a 2-on-1 tackle, a guy coming from behind and maybe punching the ball out, ball running with 2 balls and trying to punch it out. Have a guy that's, offensive guy that's running the ball. You got a defensive guy getting ready to tackle him, but you got a guy coming behind because most of the time when you're trying to make a guy miss in front, you don't think about the guy behind you. And so you got a guy that's punching the ball out and things of that nature. So we're doing a lot of different things, different drills for that. But, yes, we do want to have one more turnover than the opposing defense. So you want to end the game in a +1 in the turnover margin. And if you can do that, I think you can win a lot more games, and you get the ball back to our offense and, explosive offense. Now they can score a little bit more and keep the opposing offense off the football field.
Bryan, on 2 guys, what's different, Yaya at the end of last season to Yaya right now? And then can you speak a little bit about Monty and the expectation for him?
Yeah.
Because he made some big plays last year and wasn't on the field.
Absolutely. You think about Yaya, his number one, his stature. He's gotten bigger, gotten stronger. And faster, of course, and then just the knowledge of the defense. I think midway through the season last year, he started to come, into his own self, right? And he's doing great for us. He knows what to do. He knows the calls. Now he can play a lot faster, and that's what you saw today. Been seeing all fall camp and even in the spring. He's made a lot of plays, man, and I think he's going to have a heck of a year for us. Monty Montgomery, he lives in our facility. He's one of the leaders in league points and, getting extra work in and just a great playmaker. And I think last year we tried to get him more reps toward the end of the year. And now with him being a full-time starter, you're seeing him making a lot of plays every day in practice, today as well. And we're excited to have him as a playmaker, and just his energy on the football field is contagious. Third down, being able to rush the pass as well as, spying the quarterback at times is one of his strengths. And so he's going to have a heck of a year for us as well.
Bryan, you've mentioned the depth in the secondary, but do you feel like this is a secondary that can also be more aggressive, playing ball lanes and cutting kind of quarterback windows down?
Absolutely. That's one thing we've done a lot this year. Our offensive guys, the receivers, have had to make way more, contested catches as opposed to in previous years. And that goes along with, understanding what to do defensively, where your help is and things of that nature. But we're getting our hands on a lot of balls. And, and I think we have more PBUs now in fall camp than we had at this point last year and, of course, the previous year. So that's a positive.
When you have 3 drops and 4 attempts as a wide receiver, you're probably not on the field. Do you have a different standard for DBs?
On
And
dropped
are
interceptions.
your guys, do they have good hands or not?
Yeah, I think they have good hands. They just got to continue to work at it every single day. And, you know, that's why sometimes they are DBs, because they say, hey, they can't catch the football. But those guys work on it, right? And so they're doing a lot of drills with the jug machine and things of that nature. But, yes, we have a point system, Mr. Sullivan, on dropped interceptions and MOPs, and they have a little extra work to do when they drop interceptions. So we got a little something they got going on.
What kind of work you talking?
Some push-ups and things of that nature, and their peers, you know, make sure that they heckle them a little bit, but a little extra work after practice as well.
Coach, earlier in the week, Coach Ivey talked about a name that we haven't really heard a lot of, Malik Clark. Said that he was a guy that just kind of averaged his first 2 years in the system, and in camp he used the word special. What's your assessment?
You use the word what?
The word special.
Special,
He's
gotcha.
been special in camp.
Yeah.
What's your assessment of him, and overall maybe some of the guys that you think in your mind have really at this point started to stand out to you?
Malik has done a tremendous job with his body and with his conditioning, and he is a guy that, you know, at the end of spring ball, he turned it on, and he's picking that back up right now. And so I was surprised. You know, I was like, oh my God, who is that that knows? And it's Malik. And so that's a positive thing to see. He's doing that day in and day out, whether he's with the first group or second group. And I'm very, very pleased with Malik. You know, who else? Ramon Perrier. He's doing a tremendous job for us. Ashton is awesome. You know, a great freshman that's going to be a great football player for us. You know, Tabaris, TP, is coming along still, you know, knowing the defense. He's the old head of the group, and he's making a lot of plays up front. Young guys at linebacker, Jalen Alderman is going to be a special human being, a special kid on the football field. Him and Jackson Hamilton, those 2 linebackers, I feel great about those 2 moving forward. You know, Jalen played with the first group today. And so, I mean, he's going to be a special talent for us. And then in the back end, those corners and DBs and safeties, you know, those guys are going to be special. I'm so happy. You know, I had a lot of gray the first year. I'm trying to cover it up just a little bit with some dye every now and then. But you know, I feel good about this defense, the future of this defense. We got a lot of great freshmen that are going to play for us, and some we're hoping a red shirt to keep them around here a lot longer. But the future of this defense is really, really bright, and we knew it would be with this recruiting class.
Coach, what are you going to do to stop Ole Miss?
You think I'm going to tell you? Man, we're just going to try to keep the ball in front of us and, you know, not allow any big plays and tackle and, you know, try to, you know, limit them to it, you know, a lot less yardage than what they normally are accustomed to. But the main and most important thing is not give up the big plays, tackle, and get off the field on third down. Oh, man, I think Coach Sapp may have said it the first time we got here was if he would have told me, you know, exactly how many points they were giving up per year, that I may have stayed my butt at App State. But no, it was rough. It was rough that first year for sure. But the crazy thing is we got 11 points better than what they were the previous year. And then last year, moving from 33 points per game to, you know, us defensively giving up 25.8. So moving from 44 before we got here to 25.8, I think that's a tremendous stride, you know, in 2 years. And, you know, and I think the guys are so confident right now, man, that they understand the defense inside and out, and they're making plays. But the biggest thing I see right now is there is like a huge brotherhood, and they're excited. And when guys make plays, they're dapping each other up and not just thinking, okay, was I wrong here? What do I have the next play? And now they're letting loose, and that's a great sight to see as a coach. And so we look forward to the season. Hopefully we can elevate the standard, and that's our motto this year. Elevate from where we were last year, being 4th in the conference from 14th. Now we're pushing for that number 1 right now. Good. Appreciate you guys.